Baker got that wrong. And it comes to McGinn. Oh, what a goal! John McGinn with a blockbuster. That is sensational. 4 minutes having gone behind, John McGinn has come up with a crackerjack of a strike. That is how you...
Right, so this whole tutorial is going to be about BODMAS and how we use this within Substitution. So let's have a look at the first question. If you want to have a quick go at these ones, pause the video and then I'll come back to you. So if you want to pause it now. Now hopefully you've completed these questions. Now using BODMAS or BIDMAS, okay. Now the B in BODMAS or BIDMAS represents brackets. The O and the I is order and indices, which are exactly the same thing, okay? So that just basically means the powers, the floating numbers above the bigger numbers, okay? So you can see that we've got one just here on question B. The D stands for division, multiply, add, and subtract. And in theory, what we do is we use these to answer a question, okay? So the first thing that we look for, question number 1. Now, some people do 3 plus 4 first, and this is incorrect as the A comes after the multiplying, okay? So we have to do this multiplying first. So that gives us 4 times 2, which gives me 8, all right? Now, with that there, in front of it, I've still got this 3 and the plus, okay? So I move that in front of it over here. So we've got 3 plus, and that part there gave me my 8. So 3 plus 8 or 8 plus 3, doesn't really matter which way you do it, that gives you 11. Okay, so that's your first answer. Now the next one, we've got 5 plus 4 squared. So as we mentioned, the O and the I stands for the powers. So we have to do this little section here first, okay? So that gives me 16. 4 times 4, remember, not 4 times 2 as some people put. Then we've got the 4 and the plus, which we still haven't used. So again, that goes, because it's in front of it, we put it in front of this 16 here. So we've got 5 plus 16, which equals 21. Okay, I'm pretty sure some of you in your heads have probably got a joke about that. Now the next one, 5 times 3 plus 4. Now, the reason why this is slightly different is because we've actually got these brackets here, and that's the very first part, that's the B part. So we have to work out this part here first. We've got 3 plus 4, which gives me 7. Okay, and then we've got the 5 and the times, it's before it, so we put it just here. So we've got 5 times 7, which equals 35. Okay, it's important that I make sure that I put the 5 times in front of the 7. Okay, I understand the fact that 7 times 5 is still 35, but just for continuity, make sure that you're putting that in front. Now this next one, obviously we've got 2 powers, so it doesn't matter which one you do first, it doesn't matter. So we've got 36 plus my 64. Okay, now if I mush that together, all right, we've got here 100. Right, my next one that I've got, we've got 6 squared plus 8 squared. Well, we already know that's 100. Okay, from the previous question, that there, if you can see, is identical to the top part. And then we just got to do this line and then 2. Now this line here means to divide. So 100 divided by 2 gives me my 50. Okay, and that's how we talk about doing BIDMAS. Now, this is the objective for today's little session, as it were, be able to use substitution to solve the values of expressions, okay? So here are some examples. Now, if you want to try them, by all means, please do. But if you have want a quick watch of the tutorial, then by all means, do it now, okay? So we've got 5a, which means, now, in the gap here, we always say there's a little kiss going on, because they're really close to each other. So we've got 5 lots of 10, which is 50. Nice and easy. Next one, 7b is 7, again, times. We don't want a time sign in algebra because it looks too much like an x. So 7 times it by b. So 7 times it by b, which is now 5. So put 5 there, and we've got a plus 4, so put a plus 4. Now, using BIDMAS, okay, we do the multiplication first, okay. So 7 times 5, which gives me 35. And then we've got to add on our 4. Now, notice how the add 4 is actually on the after part of it. Okay, so 35 plus 4 gives me 39. Now, my next one, AB means A times B. So my A value is 10. My B value is 5, and we multiply them, which gives me 50. Okay, now this one here, you can use a clause to expand it if you want to, but you don't actually need that for this question. So here you've got 4 lots of my bracket, which is A, which is 10, plus 5, which is 15 in total. So we've got 4 and then 15 in my bracket, and between these two is at the time sign. So we've got 4 times 15. Trick of times something by 4 is double it and double it again. So double that gives you 30, double it again gives you 60. Okay, now slightly harder ones. Notice how the letters have also changed in terms of value. Okay, so the first one, we've got 5 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 3. Now with this one here, it doesn't matter which order you do it in. Okay, it doesn't matter at all. What I would tend to do is try and make my numbers easier. So 7 times it by 3 gives me 21, times it by 5. Now the trick is you do 5 lots of 21, and the trick here, okay, is times it by 10 and then halve it. So if we times 21, okay, by 10, that gives me 210. Halve it gives me 105. No calculator needed for questions like these. All right, you can use your mental arithmetic for them. My next one is 5 times it by 7, and then subtract 3. So we've got 35 minus 3. Again, using BODMAS, so we do the multiplication first, and that gives me 32. Now my next one, A squared is 5 squared, and C, which is 3, which is cubed. Okay, so be careful with cube. That means 5 times 5. That means 3 times 3 times 3. We've got a little add sign between them. So that gives me 25 plus 3 times 3 gives me 9. Times it by 3 gives me 27. Okay, and you can mush those two together. I try and make number bonds. So 25 plus 25 gives me my 50, and then we add the 2 after it, so it gives me 52. Right, the next one, B squared. Okay, so we've got 7 squared plus 2 lots of 3. Okay, remember times sign just there, all over 2. So we'll work out BODMAS first. So we're using powers first. So we've got 49 plus 2 times 3, which is 6, all over 2. Okay, that then at top gives me 55 divided by 2. I have to work out, now BODMAS would say half that and half that, but I might as well add all this together. Imagine there's like a bracket here. Okay, so that gives you 55 divided by 2, which gives me 27.5. Okay, and the last one, CAB, is 3 times it by 5 times it by 7. Now notice that there, all the way back to the beginning, are exactly the same, just swap round. Now timesing is what we call commutative, so it doesn't matter which way we do it. So my answer is 105. Okay, now try these ones for yourself when they come up. There we go. Alright, try these ones for yourself. We've used that as X, Y, and Z, still exactly the same, and see how you cope with them. Okay, so if you want to pause the video now and try them. Right, hopefully you're back with me. So first one, we've got 7 times it by 5 times it by 3. Make your numbers nice and easy. 5 times it by 3, that gives me 15. Times it by 7, not so nice, is it? So let's try a different way. 7 times it by 3 gives me 21. So that and that gives me my 21. Times it by 5, and again that trick, when we times something by 5, times this by 10 and halve it, which gives me my 105 again. Next one here, work out your X plus your Z. So we've got 7 lots of 5 plus 3. So that's 7 lots of 8, which gives me 56. One of the times tables examiners love asking, 7 times 8. It's one of the examples that, one of the times tables that kids cannot remember. Now be careful this one. We've got X, which is 5, times it by 3 squared. Now notice how the 3 squared is the only thing being affected by the squaring. Okay, only the 3 is affected by the square, not the 5. Okay, if it was everything, we'd have to have brackets just there between the X and the Z. Okay, so we work out the power first, which is 5 times it by 9, and then that gives me 45. Now this is exactly what I was just talking about. Here you've got to work out your bracket first, so that gives me X, which is 5. Okay, and then we've got my Z, which is 3, and remember it's timesing because the two letters next to each other, and then we've got to square all this, so that gives me 15 squared. Okay, Now 15 squared, you need to remember, is 225. It's one of the questions which you cannot use a calculator for, and you are expected to know the first 15 square numbers. Okay, now this one, xy, so we've got 5 times it by 7 plus z, which is 3, times it by 5. Okay, so we'll do this one first, doesn't really matter. So 5 times 7 gives me 35, and then 3 times 5 gives me 15, and then we add the two together. So add 5 gives me 40, add the rest 10 gives me 50. Okay, now hopefully that's helped a little bit. Now if you haven't tried the Maths Watch, I suggest you do the Maths Watch now. However, if you have done the Maths Watch, these are the questions which people are getting stuck on. I think off the top of my head it's question 6. Okay, so let's have a look at the first one then together. So we've got A equals, now what I'm going to do is replace my letter with my number. So we've got 5 lots of, remember it's 5 times x squared, so 5 times it by 10, all squared, all over 2. So using BODMAS, we've now got 5 times it by 100, all over 2. And that obviously gives me 500 all over 2, and my final answer is 250. Okay, just take your time with the x, just put the 10 there instead of its place, work out that, times it, okay, and then that gave me 500, and then we deal with the bottom 2 here, which gives me 250. Now my next one looks horrendous, not gonna lie. So using BODMAS, first of all let's put our 10 in its place. Ugh. Stupid thing. Okay, come here, you. There we go. If you want to skip ahead, by all means, please do. Yeah, you know me with my pen. Right, let's try again, shall we? Okay, so we've got replace my x with my 10. So here we've got 2 lots of 10 squared. Open up my bracket. Instead of x, we're going to write 10. Take away 5. Close my bracket. All over 10 lots of 10. Okay, so all we've done is substitute my x for my 10, that word substitution. Now let's start working things out. So here we've got 10 squared first, so we've got 2 lots of 100. Okay, and if you want to, we can work out a bracket as well, why not? So we've got 10 take away 5, which equals 5. Okay, all over 10 times 10, which gives me 100. Okay, so we've tidied it up quite significantly there, quite quickly. Okay, now my next part, work out the multiplication. Now remember, there's a multiplying sign here. Okay, now it doesn't matter which way we do it, keep it nice and easy for yourself. If you want to do 100 times it by 5, which gives you 500, times it by 2, which gives you 1000, all over 100. Okay, and when we can divide by 10 first, so we take off zeros top and bottom, and another set of zeros top and bottom, which leaves me with 10 divided by 1. If I had 10 sweets, shared it by one person, that just gives me 10. Okay, now that was the question that people were struggling on in terms of Maths Watch. Guys, if you're getting stuck on anything else, please use Show My Homework to contact me, and I will try and address it as best as I can using YouTube. Alright, hope you're well, hope you're safe, and fingers crossed I'll be seeing you in the very near future. All the best, speak to you soon.